Thank you for the opportunity to present the GR Silver here today. We are very excited because after the 3.5 years of a lot of hard work and an amazing geological staff, Mexicans, we are hitting a potential discovery in Sinaloa, on the southwestern border of the Sierra Madre, where you see a lot of great deposits in Mexico. It's a historical mining district, and my presentation is going to be in 3 phases. First, I'll tell a bit about the history of the company, very quick. Then I'm going to try to explain about what we are discovering. It's early days, and where we're going to head from here, and what we are doing. For those interested to see beautiful rocks, we have the booth 174. We brought some core, high-grade silver, but that's a story, just silver. Traditional statement. So where are we located? We are on the south of Sinaloa, close to the triple border. A lot of Mexicans know, Nayarit, Sinaloa, and Durango. It's an area that has a history of silver mining, Plomosas mine. In the 80s, 90s, and 2000, open pit gold heap leach in Trinidad. But there was a lack of geology, lack of geophysics, lack of geochemistry, lack of going back to the basic work. When we set up the company in 2019, went public, we decided it's a great district, but the key was going to be to consolidate the district. We initially bought a small concession, 10 hectares. Today we have 730 hectares, square kilometers in the whole belt. The Plomosas project is 430 square kilometers. Was a very patient work, slowly going through the process to buy and understand. So Marcial was acquired 100% July last year, was an earning option. But as you can see here, all the red concessions there, these are part of our portfolio. And we end up also acquiring concessions in the Concordia mining district. So today, GR Silver is the largest landholder, but of very strategic concessions in the area. So what's the Plomosas project? It's the combination of 3 areas. The Plomosas mine, which was a past producer lead and zinc, shut down in 2001. The Trinidad open pit heap leach mine that shut down in 2019, and the San Marcial area. We started in 2019 doing geology, doing a lot of work and sampling, and we decided that it's key to control the whole area because the trend goes from one concession to the other. So we want to not have limits of the boundaries of the concessions when we discover deposit. And today we believe we have the control of the whole area. So what's happening at the Plomosas project? We are drilling a lot. We have 5 drill rigs, 3 underground at the Plomosas mine and 2 at San Marcial. We have just finished a lot of the sampling, as I said, and we are about to embark in the first time combined resource estimation, where we are going to add the Plomosas mine resource with the San Marcial in a single NI 43-101 report, which we expect to release probably first quarter last year. It's a major milestone. Important for the audience in the history of this district. Nobody has ever controlled all this together. It's important for the mining business to control a mining district. It's what makes big companies. That's very important. San Marcial. This was a prospect, a small tunnel, going inside this mountain here, probably 1 meter wide, 2 meters high. We were the first company to invest money in underground development. After we did the first resource estimation, we got 40 million ounces of silver, can be open pit, probably 150 grams per ton silver. We realized that we need to find the extensions of the deposit, down deep and down plunge. We brought some structural geologists, did a lot of work, and we found the controls. So we did a major investment, bought a third-party drilling company, built a tunnel that's probably 200 meters inside the mountain, drill stations, and we drill down plunge. And bingo, we hit a big intersection, 30 meters, 18 meters of high-grade silver. But at the same stage, we were just about to finish a massive geochemical survey. We collect 14,000 samples, 25 by 25 meters over the whole concession to understand the geochemistry. And last year, we finished the first ground geophysical survey program, 72 kilometers upline, covered the whole belt. Last year was just about compiling the data, integrating the data, and doing all the work. When you put all these layers together, we start to see all these anomalies popping up. Along a 5-kilometer contact, I'm going to explain a little bit later, between two geological units, that's key for us now in the district. So this is an example. We have a very large database of geochemistry in the whole concession. This is like a jewelry box, because you go there, you can see for not only silver, for any element. And we've been training the Mexicans to really do the geochemistry and use the geochemistry as a guide, not only to map, but to find more deposits. If you look here, this is the size of the resource area. That's where we have 40 million ounces. But the color of the lead, that's one of the indicators here, you can see all the anomalies that we have in the area. We tested only the first one here on the edge. We stepped out here, 300 meters from the resource area. That's where we have the discovery. On the same context, but geophysics, you can see the resource area here. And we cover the whole belt on the edge of the Sierra Madre Occidental with the ground IP and ground mag. And we came across very striking features, anomalies, that today we believe are related to intrusives on the edge of the volcanic belt. Great target. We decided to go and chase the anomalies. That's where we put the first hole that we hit 100 meters at 300 grams per ton of silver. Talking a little bit about geology, what's the geology here? We have what we call locally the upper volcanics, the green, that's more andesites and tuffs, in contact with the volcanosedimentary, that's this yellow. The 40 million ounces that we published in 2019, and we are going to update now in the next 6 months, sits here. It's a silica-rich breccia with a lot of hematite, very well located in a structural zone, deep in probably 50 degrees to this direction here. And this area here is the southeast area. That's where we are drilling now. In elevation, we go from 950 meters above sea level here to 700. So this almost like in geology, an erosional window. The geology is coming up. And we are mapping these intrusives here, the granodiorites. And important, as I said earlier, this is the key contact. When we start the company, we controlled 500 meters of the contact. Today, we control 5 kilometers. As an order of magnitude, the 40 million ounces here is 500 meters long, resource model. We almost double the strike length already. So that's why you're drilling and drilling. But like any discovery, we are learning as we drill. That's part of the process. I'm going to show two sections. One is the AA, is a longitudinal section, to give an idea of the evolution, and a cross section, so you can have an idea here. As a reference, the 40 million ounces you see here above this Whittle pit. The drill stations came on the ground and drilled these holes here. I hope the audience can see. These are the grades that we got there. That's 200, 300 grams per ton of silver on 38, 18 meters wide. We are not dealing with narrow veins. We are not looking at vein style epithermal. It's wide breccia systems. That's what we are dealing here, hydrothermal breccias. That's the difference here. As we drilled here and we did the whole compilation of the geophysics, we realized that we should go down the valley and put some holes. This is the discovery hole, 100 meters at 300 grams per ton of silver. In another breccia that's not really probably related to this one. And we are drilling as we speak now. We put some more holes. There's a visible difference in the alteration from this zone to these zones here, more higher up. We have much more chlorite here. I'm going to show some core samples. We have some consultants help us to do fluid inclusions, dating this, because this area has never been dated. We have all this basic work, so we can understand and continue to discover more. The section I'm going to show is just right here on the hole 10. But before that, to have an idea about the dimensions, the 40 million ounces is here. We are moving 300 meters here. And there's some connections, but this is the new zone. below what was the resource, or along the strike. Okay? So that's the section. You have the andesites on the top. What was the hematite breccia typically on the contact, rich in silver. But below that, that's where we hit the 100 meters of breccia's stock works, rich in silver sulfur salts. Almost very low lead and zinc. So it's a silver system, and low in gold, in this case. So we continue to drill now along the strike, and you're doing other directions because you're learning with the deposit. As you drill, you're learning. And it's shallow. This is probably 80, 100 meters below the surface. We are not dealing about system that's deep. We are at the top of the system here. I'll be showing some cores, some photos of the core, just to give an idea what the rock looks like. So that's a very important feature. It's a very sharp contact, not mineralized to really high grade. And of course, everybody would like to show kilos of silver. We have all the kilos of silver, but we also have the hundreds along all the 100 meters. The interval is not made of a small zone high grade with a lot of low grade material. It's everything mineralized all the way through. So the next slide, another example of the breccia. You can see here the consistency on the grade. Okay? And it's green because it's more chlorite. We are starting to do more test work, but based on the history of the test work that we did at the San Marcial resource area, we got amazing recoveries, 90% recovery for silver leaching. So that's probably the way to go in the future here. So that was San Marcial. I want to update as well Plomosas. Why Plomosas is important is typical story about an old mine sitting there in the district, and 500 drill holes. Nobody ever put this in a 43-101 report. We were the first company to take the courage and go there. Let's do a 43-101. It was a massive work. And we got a mine that was not really fully operating, invested some money. Today you have 3 drill rigs inside the mine. We have a camp. We have today 16 geologists working the whole district. So we're very active here. So what's happening in Plomosas? Infill drilling. Because we got a resource that came much lower grade. But the history of the production, we look at the historical reports, is close to 180 grams per ton silver, plus the gold and all the other combined elements. We believe now we can make an upgrade in the resource with this infill drilling. So why you believe? This you can see, this green is the block model. It's a longitudinal section again. You can see all the intersections that are above 100. That shows that where the previous resource report showed that the grade was 40, 50, 60, we are likely to get above 100 as we drill. That's the idea. So what we are going to do here, we are going to combine this resource and the San Marcial and put everything together in one single report by the beginning of the next year. But also important is the discovery of the geology. With the geologists going underground doing mapping. When we came here, we didn't have a geological map in our mind that we could rely on. So we went mapping 8 kilometers of tunnels to understand. So Plomosas is classic a breccia, hydrothermal breccia, dipping to the west. That's the red line here. It's really heavy in lead and zinc with the silver credits. But what we have discovered is that the rhyolite that sits at the bottom and also at the top can be mineralized in silver and gold. It's very common to go to an old mine and think there's nothing left. But here, we believe there's a lot left. But it's important to say that the San Marcial is the area that we spend a lot of the time, but we cannot really close the eyes for this, because the mine is there, the underground development. And as you can see here, this is not a narrow mine. You can see the size of the geologists here. From the bottom here to the top is 40 meters. This is the stope. So the system at Plomosas, a lot of cross-cutting structures create a lot of jogs, open spaces that are filled with mineralization. Okay? Again, for this presentation, I'm going to show what's new about discoveries, the stock work that we are discovering on the hang wall and the foot wall of this mineralization. So you can see here, it's a rhyolite. On the left, you have the silver grades. This is silver only. On the right, you have the gold grades. The content of lead and zinc is almost nothing here. So it means the old miners, not old, but in 2000, 1995, they were not looking at this. This was left behind as waste. And now we are modeling this to put this in the context of the whole geological model. It's a multi-commodity deposit, but this has much more value than the lead and zinc. That's what we are doing. We are doing a lot of geological modeling to put this together. So that's GR Silver. We are a company that's more, we concentrate more on the expansion of the resources. We are not really, we do the basic work of early stage exploration, but we look at assets and see what's the database here, what can we add? And from that, create resources, add ounces of silver and gold. And working only in Sinaloa, in this part of, of Mexico, in the Rosario mining district. That's where the business is growing. But like any district, numerous veins. We have series of veins outside of Plomosas and San Marcial. It's still untapped, not really fully drilled, not fully understood. So the potential to continue to grow the ounces, it's there. But you need to have a solid base, that the San Marcial and Plomosas in the district, and you go from there. Very quick, just the capital structure of the company. You have a very solid backing for institutions in Europe and in North America, and also management has a lot of position in the company and the founders. Most of the executives of the company are bilingual. I've been doing business in Mexico for 20 years, finding deposits, building mines, selling projects. That's what we do. Okay? As I said, a strong component of the company in Mexico is the geological staff, all Mexican. Of course, directors and people who have done successful transactions and business in Mexico, such as Meg Silva, involved in big districts. So we decided, let's put a business together in the Rosario mining district and grow there. Those are the geologists on the discovery hole. And it's a major milestone for the company. So important, the ESG, we are very active. We employ 100 people in the community. Full-time employees, providing services as well. So that's GR Silver. I hope I gave a snapshot. I'm available for any questions.